You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't good.
We're not talking about any integrity in
We
this
are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Yes, but that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No, vampires everywhere.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 174. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham.
as always. Another week has gone by.
Yep.
You know, would you call this week or strong? Did you have a week? Strong week.
I had a week.
Your week.
Yeah.
A W. But this W's not a W in the column. This W is an L.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far.
It's not a loss.
No.
It's a tie, maybe.
There's nothing particularly interesting happened. That's all.
You know, you just spent a lot of time in the hole of a good wife.
I spent every
waking hour.
Every waking hour.
You're like Sting. Tantric.
Living the good life, watching the good wife.
That's it. That's it. That's boom. Boom, you got a t-shirt. Sell that shit.
Yep.
Put Juliana Margulies' face on that.
Bam.
You got $1 billion. That's like how many people watch that show, though. Like a
Seems
billion.
that way.
How many seasons is that on? Huh?
They have 6 seasons, but they're gonna have a 7th, I think, this fall.
Okay, Adam.
Yep.
I realized when we talked about The Good Wife last week,
Yeah.
you really didn't say anything about the show.
I said it's about a lady wife mother who...
A lady wife mother, all right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's her Native American name. Lady wife mother.
Named Alicia
Okay.
Florrick.
That's a great TV name.
Yep. And her husband, Peter
Florrick.
Cheats on her with some
Why?
hookahs. Because he's kind of, I don't know. He's that kind of dude.
Kind of a scumbag?
Kind of. I mean, he seems to be actually, like, in the show, a mostly decent dude, but kind of... I mean, he seems less corrupt than most politicians.
Yeah.
But he's a little corrupt. But he seems to have his good intentions at heart.
That's how the game is played, Adam.
Exactly.
You come down to the swamps
That's
of the Capitol Hill.
Actually,
You gotta play by our rules.
You've been watching House of Cards?
No.
Oh.
I've never seen it, but I do know that he talks with an accent like that.
Kevin Spacey does pull out the southern drawl, and
I do declare this card house is ready to topple over.
pretty much.
I'm gonna choke a dog to death in a street to start off the series.
Does he do that? I don't remember
Yeah,
him
man,
doing
that's how the
that.
show starts. There's like a dog that got hit by a car, and like everyone's like, "Oh my god, go call him!" And he can like see the dog's like annihilated by the car, and so he like chokes it or like suffocates it so it
I
dies
watched
quick.
that. I don't remember that at all.
It's the very opening scene of the show. Like if you were not paying attention, you would be like, "What?"
Huh.
Like if you're because you're like, "What's happening?" Yeah, he's killing a dog.
Okay. Anyway, this one takes place in Illinois, which is awesome.
I'm a regular K9 Jack Kevorkian.
Good Wife takes place in Chicago.
Okay. Shy City. Shy Town.
Chi-Town.
Chirac.
The Windy City.
Yep. The Windy Apple.
Nope, that's not a thing. But,
That's nothing. That's nothing. That is, you have made nonsense words up.
it's kind of cool, though, because they actually use stuff that Illinoisans would recognize and stuff. So,
So you
like,
say
they
you're the
mentioned,
target demo?
yeah,
As a
maybe I
fellow
am.
Illinoisan?
Like, they mentioned iPass, and I'm like, I know what iPass is.
I wish I should get one.
You should get one.
They're free, right? To get?
I don't think so.
I feel like you pay like up front to get one, and then
Yeah.
but it gives you like that much in tolls.
I think it's a yearly thing. Actually.
Oh, really? I
think
thought
it's
it was
like
I thought you just auto billed you. You just set up a billing for it.
Maybe. I
I don't really need it because when I visit you, I hit one toll.
Exactly.
But it would save me those precious 5 minutes of like slowing down, pulling in, having to have change. Although it is $1.90, which is the fucking biggest kick in the dick.
Yeah, it is.
They just have to have piles of dimes there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like, just make it $2. I'm not going to fucking have a fuss. No one would. No one would give a shit.
No, that's true.
I mean, people would give a shit because people love to give a shit about everything. But in the end, it would be like, dude, it's just easier.
Yeah.
2 1s. Done.
Yep. But, people who don't know, iPass is a Illinois tollway thing.
Yeah, it's like so you can bypass the toll, like cash tolls, and you just drive under it, and it has a sensor. Mm-hmm. It just picks up your thing, like, all right, you can go through. You paid for iPass.
Yeah, you put it in your window.
If it's a yearly thing, then I'm definitely not going to get it. I just thought it was like a way to like auto debit.
Oh, I have no idea. It could be. But yeah, they mentioned Blagojevich, and
he's a real icon, right? A real pillar of the community.
No, he was a corrupt.
The Blags.
He was a corrupt governor.
He was. Isn't that crazy? Like how corrupt some of these people are.
It's funny because they mention they show like an ethics kind of presentation on one of them that says like 4 of the past 8 governors of Illinois have gone to jail, which is true. That is a true fact. Like 4 of the last governors of Illinois have gone to jail.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. They mention Obama a lot too because he's Illinois senator from Chi-Town.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a it's a cool show. It's about a lady who joins a law firm after 13 years of being a housewife.
Oh, so she's like getting back in it.
Yeah, she has to pick up the pieces after.
So you're getting a real Family Ties vibe.
I did not think that was the case for Family Ties.
Well, no, she's like single mom. Well, not single mom, but she's married, stay-at-home mom. Then the kids get older, and she's like, I'm going to go back to being an architect now.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
There's not really any infidelity. I mean, I guess I don't know what Steve Keaton's up to at the PBS, the public broadcasting place he works, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, but she just... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Goes back to work at this big law firm because she met a friend of hers who was a possible love interest because she knew him in Georgetown when she went to college.
Okay.
And law college and stuff.
Law school is what it's called.
School, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the beginning premise. She has 2 kids. She has to kind of try to protect from the scandal, and it's just them trying to deal with the blowback of it. He's in jail. Yeah. He has like an appeal. Things happen. 6 seasons worth of stuff. So.
Yeah, iPass is it's not a yearly fee.
It's not.
You pay $30 to get the iPass.
Yeah.
And you get 20 in tolls. Mm-hmm. And then a $10 refundable deposit for the device, but I mean, whatever. If you want to mail it back to them to get it back when you're done.
Okay. So you get like 20 in tolls, then what happens?
And then it just has an account hooked up, and then you just get a bill every month.
Okay.
For how much tolls you used.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool, and it makes the tolls 50% cheaper as well.
Oh! I should get one of those. Although I don't need one anymore.
Well, you never know.
I used to drive down from Wisconsin like you did, but now I don't. Everybody's here.
That's true. I mean, if you're gonna go do what, 5 tolls a year, is it worth it? Probably not. But I don't know. Just for the ease of use, though, the fact that you just drive and not worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. Those iPass bucks.
I'll probably end up getting one. I mean, that's not that bad.
No.
It also seems like kind of a cool future technology. And maybe if I get pulled over, I'll be like, I got the iPass. I'm buying in.
Buying in.
I didn't sell out. I bought in to the iPass.
Okay, Seth Rollins.
You could say I'm the Seth Rollins of the highway tolls.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Did you take a steel chair to the back of a tollway operator.
That's right, I did. I
like,
rolled
"What,
up
pass?"
and was like, "Give me an eye pass."
Give me an eye pass.
I just hit him an unprotected chair shot to the head.
Yeah.
Those are illegal in the WWE now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's an eye pass. So she's a lawyer in Chicago now, right?
Yeah.
And it's just
The
single
Windy
female
City.
lawyer, but not single?
No, she's the good wife because she doesn't get divorced.
She stays married.
Yeah, they call her
To the-
Saint Alicia at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because she's seen as...
Adam, what are her 2 miracles?
People like her.
You have to have miracles attributed to you to be a saint.
You also have to be dead.
Well, you have to have a miracle while you're alive, and a miracle after you're dead.
2 after you're dead, I think.
2 after you're dead? Okay, whatever. It's miracles alive and dead.
Yeah, it's... You have to be miracling it up.
So basically, like if you want to become a saint, like if Mother Teresa is to become a saint.
She is, actually.
She is? She did? Okay. But like when she was going for it, it was like we had to have an instance of someone praying for her help
Yeah.
and it helping them. So through just random events, eventually they got 2.
Actually, you might be right with like the 1 each. I mean, it might be 2 total. But I seem to remember like one of her or her after death one being really terrible.
What? What do you mean terrible?
Like,
Just not really provable?
well, it was like somebody who
Somebody was like, I wish that I was dead, or I
No.
wish I could murder a baby, and then they did.
they said
Like, man, I guess it counts. You know, by our rules, that counts. But, man,
they had some kind of like stomach cancer.
asterisk by her name in the saint registry.
They had some kind of stomach cancer, I think, that went into spontaneous remission.
Oh, okay.
Although,
Like, doctors
was
were like,
questionable
no
as
fucking
to-
way. This could happen.
yeah, it was questionable as to whether it was like misdiagnosed
Wasn't actually stomach cancer.
or that
Someone ate a bad burrito.
something like that. It was pretty questionable. I
Well,
think.
it's a miracle that that bad burrito didn't cause stomach cancer, Adam.
Yes, truly.
Mysterious things.
Mother Teresa's watching out for us.
Over burrito eaters everywhere. She's the patron saint of microwavable burritos.
I actually don't know what she's the saint of. They usually give them some kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
Mother Teresa.
yeah, she wasn't that great.
She was alright.
No, not really.
Why was she so bad, Adam?
She took money from, like, evil Haitians.
Evil Haitians?
Yeah.
Adam, anyone in any sort of, like, international position has somehow taken money from an evil
Haitians.
Haitian. It's just, you know what, they're just so entrenched in the system. You know?
Yeah.
That it just happens, you know? Criticism, what did she do?
She also didn't, like, actually help
You know, she did
people.
win a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's not anything.
Yeah.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah. She was definitely anti-abortion and contraception.
Yes, she
She
was
was a bit
anti-contraception.
wrong-headed, I think.
Also, like, she's supposedly gathered a lot of money for hospitals and stuff, but it actually mostly went to, like, more mission places.
Yeah.
And they were hospices where they actually didn't treat anybody. They just, like, had them lay around to die.
But, well, you know, that's
So-
part of it.
She didn't actually do any good, necessarily.
Oh, come on. She did at least something good. Maybe not saint amount of good, but at least something good.
Well, not enough to earn what everybody
Yeah.
thinks of when they hear Mother Teresa, the connotation with it.
I suppose. I don't know. I always think after someone's dead, they're just, I mean, you know, they're just going to like, well,
Unimpeachable.
let's dig apart that. They kicked a dog when they were 10. evil.
I'm a fan of Christopher Hitchens, and he did this, I think, while she was alive.
How
as well,
you could
so-
be a fan of Christopher Hitchens, I do not understand.
Why? He's awesome.
He was a gigantic asshole.
Yeah, he's an awesome asshole, though. A
Well-
smart asshole.
Just because you're a smart asshole still means you're an asshole.
Yeah, that doesn't wrong with being an asshole, though.
Somewhat, yes. He hated everything.
That's not true.
Pretty much.
It's not true. He didn't hate
Anyway.
everything.
Pretty much.
He liked evolution and just kids.
He's like, evolution's great, you know? That's cool.
And his he liked his kids, I guess.
Well, there you go. Good for him there.
I mean, I'm not gonna say he was like an optimist or anything, but
Yeah.
I don't think he was a bad dude.
I do like the Hitchens dictum.
Yeah.
What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Yeah.
That seems to make some sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I love listening to him talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
I don't like blowhards, no matter what side they're on.
Blowhards are fun.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? They are fun to listen to. I'll say
Yeah.
that. And maybe if you get some
That's the thing
goodness
about it.
out of what they're saying.
I don't like blowhards that are like dumb, but he was
Yeah.
super smart.
Yeah.
And he really knew his stuff. He was an expert on like the Middle East, and
Yeah.
he often claimed to be, I think, at the time he was the only reporter who had been to all 3 axis of evil countries as like a
3 axis of evil countries.
journalist. Yeah,
Uh,
he was a big proponent of
yeah.
free speech. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Not a fan of North Korea,
Yeah.
which he actually says is a theocracy. I didn't realize that. But I guess they actually deified Kim Jong-il's dad.
Yeah.
He was supposedly like a godlike status, and then Kim Jong-il used to be the head of the country. And
King
Un
Jong
was
Il.
head of-
Who are you talking about?
Kim Jong-un's dad?
Kim Jong Un's dad was Kim Il Sung.
Kim Jong-il was his dad, right?
Yes, Kim Jong Il was his dad, and then Kim Il Sung was his dad.
Right. He was
Yes.
the one who was like the deified. Kim Jong-il was like the head of the country.
Correct.
And-
After his father passed away, yes.
Yes. After his father passed away, they deified him afterwards. And then Kim Jong-un was like the head of the party.
Yeah.
And that's probably changed up a little bit now. They had their own like trinity going on.
I have no clue what the fuck's going on there. That country is a mystery.
It is a mystery.
How it exists in this world, I do not know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It blows
so
my
weird that
mind.
there's these little pockets of like insanity in the world.
Yeah. You know
And
what's
actually,
great, though?
also most of Africa.
You know what's great?
But
Oh, Cuba. What?
you know what's great? Cuba.
But the fact that Barrio, B.O., as I like to call him, worked hard to get relations with Cuba back together because it's freaking ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
How they were, up until a couple weeks ago, listed as like a terrorist nation.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
like
bit
they
extreme.
don't do anything but like hang out on beaches and work on old cars and
Yeah.
are regular people. That's cool, though. I'm glad that pretty much Cuba's going to end up... I think travel restrictions may be over pretty soon with Cuba because
I imagine.
I think they're talking about getting an embassy open, and then now that they're not listed as like an active enemy of the U.S., I think you can travel there now
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It's like crazy. Like, dude, Cuba will be like the resort fucking
it'll
place.
be like the
Oh
new
my
fucking
God.
Acapulco
I mean, it already
or whatever.
is in certain parts, like because like other countries can travel there, and it's like, hey, come to the Caribbean, and
Yeah.
it's like an actual country with infrastructure instead of just an island nation where
And cars from the 1950s.
yeah, it's beautiful. All those old cars.
It's like stepping back into the past 50 years.
Yeah, except for they have a vaccine for lung cancer.
Yeah.
that they developed. Yeah, I like how news articles about that like came out recently, and I was like, dude, I've known about that for years, man. They've been vaccinating people for lung cancer for a long time down there. Apparently, it works really well.
Any kind of lung cancer?
I don't know, but it's certain types. Probably the ones caused by smoking.
Awesome. I could totally use that.
Yeah, get in on it. I
going
can
to Cuba,
fuck,
boys.
anyone should take it. I mean, it's a vaccine.
Yeah.
Hell, if I fucking inhale some fucking smoke dust that gives me cancer, I want to be cured.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So we need to get them full on so we can share information.
Also, like, since watching The Americans, I have a deeper sympathy for communist countries.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, there are some evil people that were communists.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
their
the heart of
ideology
communism
wasn't,
is very-
like, awful. They were trying to do good. You know, whether it was misguided or not.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were trying to be evil.
Well, it's they were vilified so much. It's kind of hard to remember that. Like, despite their, I'm not really a big fan of all the, economic socialism type stuff. But they are very liberal socialists.
Yeah, of course.
Which is cool.
A lot of the times, yeah. Not Russia now.
No, not now. Certainly not. But I mean, communism, like Lenin and stuff, was
Yeah. I feel like that'd be kind of a cool... Is there any way, like, you get, like, a cool charity? Like, to figure... I feel like here's a charity idea. You know, I got app ideas? Here's a charity idea.
Uh-huh.
Like, gay people in Russia that want to leave the country, like, some way to fund that happening.
That's the problem, though. Like, most of them, they can leave. They don't want to, though.
I know, but, like, it's, like, just make it easier, you know? Like, I don't want to because I'd be, alone. But, like, here's a support network. Like, come to the U.S. where we're, like... Don't go to the South, okay? But, like, the real United States, above the Mason-Dixon line.
I don't think that's fair.
No, that's true. That's not fair. But I'm generalizing. But, I mean, like, there's kind of a national turn towards social, like, liberalism right now that's good.
I agree.
So, ride the wave.
That's right.
That's what I say. Don't come to Wisconsin, though, at least for another 4 or 5 years.
Why is that? What happened?
Because Scotty Walks is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
He's into... I don't know how anyone can defend him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are some, like, presidents that are, like, Democrats or Democratic politicians that are terrible. Like, Blagojevich, people like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like that. All right, so if you're, like, Republican, yeah, it's cool, you're conservative, but this guy's a douchebag. Like, you don't have to support him because he's, towing your party line. Vote for someone else.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a government employee in Illinois, and I actually still do not know who our governor is right now.
Don't you have to, like, pray to, like, a picture of him on the wall every morning?
Thankfully, no.
No? It's not like North Korea?
It's not like North Korea.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Illinois is a different state. I don't know what your guys' customs are.
Yes. A whole different culture.
It does feel like a different culture when I go down there, though.
A little bit.
It's like 15 to 20% more southern. You just have a little bit more of that southernness.
I guess.
No, it's just, things a little bit more southern charm, a little bit slower paced, a little more relaxed.
I don't know where you get that from, but
It's the way it is, man. I'm the day walker, Wisconsin day walker. I go to Illinois and go to Wisconsin. I can do both.
Yeah.
I
suppose.
I'm just saying.
I will say our roads are worse. That's for sure.
Well, that's not true, but
I think
trust
so.
me. Wisconsin roads were voted the worst in the nation, so no way you can be worse. What?
That can't be possible. Is that actually true?
Yes, you haven't been up here in a while, but roads have gotten no work done.
Oh.
Because there's been no money for it. Because, we were in... Adam, I just want to tell you this.
Uh-huh.
So, one of the principles of economics, Adam, is that when you are in, like, a massive debt, you have to cut taxes. So you don't have any money coming in, and then everything fixes itself.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's worked very well in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, check the...
Well, I do know that... I'm
going to look this up because I'm going to find out that, it's third worst in nation. I'm sorry. I was a bit hyperbolic.
Okay.
Let's see if Illinois is worse in the list.
Yeah.
Fuck, come on. Don't give me the list, you fucking article. Just don't have a fucking 10-page article about who's the worst. Third worst in nation. Would you fucking say Connecticut apparently is bad too. According to some peeps. Yeah. Another article I saw. Where's the list? Where's the list? Adam, this is the worst. When you find an article about Wisconsin's road being third worst in the nation and it doesn't have a list of all 50 states in order, I feel like
Yeah.
you failed at writing your article because people want to be like, well, we're third worst, but we're better than somebody.
Yeah.
Who is it? I can't tell, so we'll never know.
Man.
We'll never know. Maybe we'll know. I'm gonna keep digging at him. You want to keep talking here?
All right. Well, the other thing I'll say is I'm pretty sure our budget is probably one of the worst in the nation too.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not, because I know there are some states out there that are doing terribly. Like California is, I think, doing really bad in that area.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
yeah. Well, you know.
Wisconsin has had some issues as well. But Illinois, man, oh man, there's some shit going on there. There were some pension issues for a while too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's never good.
No, I think they did something recently about that. They ruled in some way on it. I got an email.
You know what I hate about this news articles I'm reading on this
know.
shit?
What?
Sorry, I cut you off, but the fucking news articles I'm reading on this shit is like, hey, we're the third worst in the nation, says an article. Says a study. Where's the study? Give me the study.
Was there like a little source thing at the bottom?
Yeah.
That has, like,
no,
a
not
link?
that I can find. Adam,
That is shitty reporting.
I know. It's terrible.
Got a link to your source, man.
Oh, here it is. Wait. Nope, this just links to another blog where they said that. That has...
Follow the links, man.
I'm following the links. All right, Adam, I've gone to Blogging Blue, to GreenBayPressGazette.com,
Okay.
and number 22 in the nation, I guess. Oh, it was recently as 11 years ago. It was number 22. And now it's 40, I guess, 7 now, if it's the
Sure.
third... No, 48.
48,
The third
yeah.
worst. Oh, my God. Where's the fucking study? Oh, this kills me. This kills me, Adam. Like, what kind of reporting is this? I mean, it's got to be a publicly available study.
You
Adam.
would think.
Let's stop talking about this. I'm going to find it while we're talking, but let's talk about something else.
Okay.
So, The Good Wife, what is the, like, crux of the show? Is it like her dealing with, like, court cases and stuff?
Yeah. So like from week to week, it's usually like the court case of the week or the
Yeah.
thing going on there. But there's usually an underlying story, like a serialized thing that goes on throughout the season.
Yeah.
I will say beforehand, I had heard, and I am finding it to be correct, that the 5th and 6th seasons really turn up like the serialized stuff.
Yeah.
To be bigger impact and
Okay.
really pretty awesome stuff. That's where a lot of the Emmys and stuff that come from that you hear about.
Yeah.
They're mostly from the 5th and 6th season, which I understand because like shit goes down in the 5th season. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's usually like some kind of season-ending cliffhanger, or you know.
Yeah. So,
There's
so it does that
mid-season.
season-ending cliffhanger bullshit?
It's not even so much. They're not usually like cliffhangers necessarily, but it's like
Yeah.
you find out at the end of season, like, oh, we're merging with this firm or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's not like you're finding out whether someone's gonna live or die necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that's interesting. That's something to think about for how that's going to unravel next season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm finding it to be pretty good. They've got a lot of good. They've got a lot of great recurring characters, and a lot of great side characters that are really awesome. Like Alan Cumming is.
Oh, I love Alan Cumming. I haven't
I
seen him
know,
in
right?
anything lately.
He is in I think it's from season 2 on, or maybe even
Yeah.
season 1. He plays a campaign manager,
Yeah.
and he is awesome. He is amazing throughout the series.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox shows up quite a bit as
Okay.
a rival lawyer.
Okay.
There's lots of guest stars from The Wire.
Oh,
seen a
wow.
bunch of
So they're like, people like The Wire.
Yes.
Let's get those actors.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
I was like, what are they doing? Nathan Lane has been on a bit.
All right. So
is
Adam's
awesome.
in.
Yeah,
Likes
there's lots-
Nathan Lane.
I do.
Okay.
There's a kind of crazy lawyer that seems to have, maybe it's just like ADHD or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird and wacky and
Okay.
shows up from time to time. And is also, you haven't seen any of the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but
Fuck no.
the guy who plays Sky's dad is in there as a federal agent, who's also kind of a little bit out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really cool. There's a lot of internal office politics,
Yeah.
as well as actual politics and courtroom drama, which is
Yeah.
always good. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Also, there's a major character death.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like a major one.
We're part of the new television revolution here. Major character deaths.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
That's
about as much
sounds
as I
terrible.
probably. Huh? No, it's great.
yeah.
It's Juliana Margulies. She also has a crazy gay brother and
Yeah.
crazy what's her Stalker Channing is her mom.
Oh, good old Rizzo.
Rizzo, indeed.
Yeah.
Rizzo's looking a little older now.
Well, she is a little older now.
Like, well, she looked a little older now in The West Wing. And now she looks a little older now from that. So,
Okay. She continues to age.
she does. She's not a
That's how
vampire.
it works, Adam.
I will confirm she's not a vampire.
No,
Yeah.
Adam, I can't find anything about this. This is just like, so maybe this fucking statistic isn't even right.
It's a conspiracy.
I mean, there's like 10 news outlets that you're going to be able to get, but that's it, really.
Well, I've watched about 5 full seasons of The Good Wife now, and
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty much good to practice law in Illinois now. So,
Yeah.
if you have any legal issues in Illinois,
Yeah.
yeah, just give me a call, man. All
right, all
I'm
right.
up on that shit.
You know it all.
Yeah, I'll file the
You
motions.
watched enough seasons of The Good Wife.
I'll write the amicus brief. Yeah. I'll make sure your
Yeah.
writ of habeas corpus is not suspended. Don't worry. We'll talk to the judge. We'll sidebar.
Yeah.
I'll object.
Yeah, it looks like this Reddit thread I found about the article, people are arguing about how Illinois' roads are worse.
Are they really?
Yeah, but people from Wisconsin are like, no, it's worse up here.
I don't know. I think it's pretty bad in Illinois. I think it's worse, actually, in Illinois. But I don't know. Having lived
I'm
in
looking
both,
at the 10 states with the highest proportion of roads in poor conditions to the relative number of paved miles. The 10 worst are Connecticut and Rhode Island is the worst. New Jersey, California, Hawaii, New York, Washington State, and Michigan, Wisconsin is on there. So that's not the actual list, but that's newer. But Illinois is nowhere in the bottom 10. So sounds like Connecticut, Rhode Island are terrible.
yeah.
Don't drive there. But Wisconsin's bad. It sucks.
Yeah.
Just bouncing, crumbling roads everywhere.
Part of
they're
it
like-
might be
Yeah.
snow. I mean, like, the more snow you get, like, you're going to have
No, exactly. The roads
ice
get worse.
And, yeah.
You know.
Potholes.
Whereas a lot of other states and more south don't deal with as much terrible ice and freezing
Yeah.
that our roads deal with, which is god awful.
Yeah.
But let's stop talking about roads and the Good Wife. Let's talk about something else, Adam.
Okay.
Let's talk about where you at in The Witcher 3? What you been doing?
I've remained unwitched.
Jesus
since
Christ,
last time.
Adam.
Listen, this is one of those things. This is one of those things that happens.
Is this
where,
one of the things you buy a game and then don't play it?
No. I really like The Witcher, and I'm going to play it.
Are you?
Yes, but I've gotten into a marathon mode. Like, if there's a show that I like, and there's a large quantity of it,
You just burn? I can't do that with shows.
I can't help it. That's how I do it. I just fucking...
That's how you do.
That's how I do. I do nothing else until I have consumed every bit of life from that series.
Fair
that
enough.
Exists. And then, I'll wait until the next stuff comes out. But, like, yeah, if I like something and there's a bunch of it, I will burn through it, and I will do it to the exclusion of everything else.
All right, fair enough.
So, I'm almost done with The Good Wife.
Almost good wifed up.
I'm almost, caught up.
Wow.
So,
Well, get into The Witcher because it's good.
that was my plan. I was actually kind of hoping we would record tomorrow night because I was planning on actually having played some more Witcher.
Well, I might be busy tomorrow night, so I need to record tonight. So
that's fair enough. But I will finish probably The Good Wife tomorrow. So
I'm at level 7 right now.
Yeah?
I'm through a good chunk of the early parts of the Velen stuff.
Have you done any of the Bloody Baron stuff?
Yeah, I've done a few of the starting quests for that.
I've heard people say that's really good.
Yeah, it seems good. Because, like, the Baron's, like... It's actually pretty interesting. I haven't read anything, so I don't have any spoilers, but I'm just going to give my opinion here. So his wife and daughter have left, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I need you to find my wife and daughter, and then I'll tell you where Ciri went, because I heard where she went. Mm. Like, she stayed here at the castle for a minute, and then ran away.
Yeah.
And then, so you, like, CSI investigate with your Witcher senses, like the kid and mom's, like, room.
Yeah.
And there's just, like, it looks like signs of a struggle, like a broken wine bottle and stuff, and you're like, huh, something must have happened here.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, do you remember? He's like, I don't know, I was drunk. I don't remember. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some connections here in my mind. Over maybe they didn't get kidnapped. Maybe they decided to leave because you're a terrible person.
I think this is the one that they did actually a fair amount of in the Quick Look.
Right, yeah.
Giant Bomb.
I haven't seen that. I don't want to see it. I don't want it
Yeah,
spoiled.
you shouldn't.
No, of course not.
Because I did watch it, and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Things that,
Oh, I'm sure. The game is amazing.
I'm just going to say that your Misery Vampire side is going to be well sated.
All right.
By this quest.
The Poles know where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
Those Polish. They know a good misery.
Pole at heart.
I'm a Pole at heart.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. You have to deal with all that, I don't know, the Nazis and the Vikings and stuff. I mean, they're pretty much used to just, terribleness.
Yep.
Yep.
It has hardened their souls. And
for The Witcher.
For The Witcher.
Yeah. Interesting. I think there's been an interesting games discussion backlash on this game.
Oh, really?
That's been interesting. Well, no, a lot of people were talking about how the game's sexist or racist.
Really?
Because there's only white people in it.
Yeah, but it's like Scandinavia. Even
I know, exactly. That's one of the articles I read that was really well written. This guy wrote it from Quarter to 3. He'd written this blog post about it, and he was like, I'm from Poland. And, like, I don't see it as, like, there aren't any minorities in this game. I see it as, oh my god, there are Polish people in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing Polish people, like, Polish facial structures, and, like, it feels like Poland to me, which is cool, because how many games are out there that have Polish people in them?
Right.
None.
Not a ton.
It's pretty freaking cool. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's just the way it is. Where he said something about how the Polish population... the largest minority is 0.5% of the population, and it's Vietnamese immigrants. It's like, yeah, it's just reflective of the part of the world that it came in. I think, and then he said, like, part of the thing that Americans try and do is make everything look like America.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's a melting pot. It's like, okay, that's cool, but that's not the way the rest of the world is.
Right.
Like, so if something's coming from another country, you can't criticize it for being reflective of the country that it came from. It'd be like watching a Japanese movie and be like, oh, there's no Americans in it. I'm like, well, it's a Japanese movie. Like, it's just the way that they built it. I mean, it's the way their country is.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't doing it out of any sort of spite or racism. It's just the way it is.
Although, to be fair, if it were a Japanese movie, they would probably put a black dude in it who is the most racist character ever.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, yeah, I mean, obviously. But that's beside. There's none of that in The Witcher 3, thank God.
Because for some reason, Japanese people who have seen American films have a really weird idea of what black people are like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's just kind of interesting because, like, some of the the bloggers, the instigator type peoples. Your Anita Sarkeesian was very critical about the game's treatment of women. And
why? Because women were awesome and powerful. And
I know. It's like,
have
you played the game? Have you played the game? Like there are women that are abused in the game, but also, would you take that out? Like, do you want to whitewash the world? Like, it's bringing a critical eye to characters like the Bloody
if
Baron.
women
I'm
were the
sure
ones-
who's terrible to women.
Yeah, if
And
women were
they're
the
a
only
bad
ones-
guy, and that's good that they're bad.
right?
And that's not a lazy trope in the game. It's actually kind of, I don't know, like gender forward. Like the sorceresses are really powerful, and like of course they're like sex symbols, but that's because they're magical and they can become sex symbols because they use their magic to make themselves into like sexy sorceress ladies.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, who wouldn't? And then Geralt, the Witcher's a sexy dude, but he's sexy because he's got Witcher powers that make him strong.
Man, I
and
don't
like
know. He's a
grizzled
little pale
good looks.
and scarred.
What?
He's a little pale and scarred.
Yeah, but dude, chicks dig that though. Not the pale and scarred, but the manliness of that guy.
Yeah.
He's a man's man,
He is a man's man. I'll give you that.
and he's a damn ruggedly handsome man, and he bangs a lot of sorceresses.
Yeah,
They bang him too, though. It's not like he's like bedding women on some conquest. They kind of use him too as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's actually really deep, which is why I just hate it when people do like, people criticizing like Game of Thrones or George R. R. Martin. It's like, dude, read the books, man. Like, it's a world that's harsh towards women, but it's not about that. There are women that rise well above that. It's not. I don't know. It's not. It's just being blunt and not constructive, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. Like, don't be lazy with your criticisms here. Like, dig deep. Like, come on. Anyway, but it's easy to throw up some inflammatory, post about how you think this thing is so terrible, and people read it because they want to hear what you have to say. And then you're like, well, okay, but have you played it? Have you played the game, or did you watch someone play some of the game? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And you get to play as Siri.
Yeah,
That's
I heard
cool.
about that.
Yeah, you play as her a few times. She's got some cool powers.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, cool.
You're going to do it pretty quick if you play.
Okay.
Play a section as her. You kind of like see her backstory from her perspective told in like little asides. It's actually really cool. This game's incredible. This is probably one of the deepest games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like there is so much shit going on.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to see all of it.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend, it was maybe you that told me this. No, it was a friend at work. He was like, did you do that thing where you saved the lady from dying in the herbalist hut? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I don't think I did that. Like, I'll have to go back there and see what's going on. Like, I think I missed that, right?
She's dead?
No, get this. So she's like, this is pretty early on in the game. It's a spoiler, but it's like one of the first quests. I mean, you're going to hit it right away. So,
Yeah.
So she's like dying of some mysterious illness. She's hurt bad. They don't really have anything to fix her, and she's kind of on her deathbed. And they like don't know what to do. And they're like, "Hey, you're a Witcher. Do you have anything that could like cure? Can you craft like a potion to heal her? You know?" And so you can craft a potion to heal her. But I just said, "I'm a Witcher. My potions would kill you."
Yeah.
It was my response without even knowing what was going to happen. And she's like, all right, we'll try and find another way. Which must have been what I chose. Because I didn't remember doing it. Because I was like, oh, no, I didn't think it was like a quest or anything. I was just like, no, you can't use that. Like, this would kill a normal person.
Yeah.
And, so she's dead in my game.
Oh,
But
okay.
do you know what happens if you gave her the potion?
Well, here's the thing. I did give her the potion, but it said come back in a few days, and I don't actually know if I ever went back to see her. So
Okay, well, you'll find out.
I will.
She's not there.
Oh, she's not there.
No. Go to the keep.
Okay. I'll do that.
Let's just say things didn't work out the way you hoped they would.
Well, he does say, like, a Witcher's potions are not meant for those, like, non-Witcher.
Something real bad happens, Adam.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing I like about this game, is that it's not like black and white. Like, I'm going to do the good thing, I'm going to do the bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to do a thing, and maybe it's going to blow up, maybe it'll be the good thing to do. You don't know until after you've made the choice, you know? And you can go back and load a save and try it again, or you can just live with your decisions. And that's what I've been doing, just living with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I think I'm going to. I mean, you can't,
Yeah.
especially in a game like this that has so many
It's so vast.
Yeah, it's so big. You can't bother by
Yeah.
each one, or else you're gonna go nuts.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely no way. All right, well, let's move on.
Yeah.
Do you have any other Witcher 3 talk you want to talk about?
No, not really. No. Not yet.
Well, I've been apartment hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a new place because my, apartment that I always complain about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to move.
It's expensive.
It's really, this apartment is so cheap.
It is, yeah.
I think I'm just going to re-sign.
Yeah.
We're going to look at one more place on Monday. If it doesn't wow me, I'm just going to re-sign. Like, the parking's kind of a bitch. Mm-hmm. The neighbors are sometimes loud. The kids are. But nobody's ever loud at night.
Yeah.
You can't really hear people through the walls. It's just kids out on the playground being kids yelling. That's annoying, but it's not the worst. It's pretty rare. Mm-hmm. And, like, I looked at a place that was in a, like, it was like, oh, this is in a quiet neighborhood. It's a, 2-bedroom loft that was like 1,020 square feet, so it's pretty big. It's bigger than my place. But I looked at it and it was $1,215 a month.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. $300 more than I'm paying right now. Mm-hmm. Like more than 300, like 350 more than I'm paying now per month. And I looked at it and it has an in-unit washer and dryer. It's got 2 bathrooms. Nice. But it's just, it wasn't like very nice though. It wasn't new, Mm-hmm. I was expecting something newer, but it looks, maybe a decade newer than my place.
Yeah.
But the cupboards are looking old. The inside of the closet's kind of got old, like, wood in it. And you're like, this doesn't look very great. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, this is okay. I'm seeing some of the caulk on, like, the seals looks a little bit worn. You're like, man, I feel like this should be brand new.
Yeah.
If I'm paying $1,200 a month, Because I know brand new apartments that have opened, they're like $1,400 a month. So, like, for $200 less, it should be pretty new looking. You know what I mean? So I looked at that, and I was like, all right, but then the security deposit was $1,200, full month's rent right up front. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a fuck ton of money for not a new place, like, up front. Like, there's no way anyone does $1,200 of damage on this thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In lieu of something you would sue them for, like a meth lab. It did have a locked front door, which is nice, to the building. Yeah. That's a plus. I don't have that now, so any homeless person could wander in my building.
Any tattoo artists.
Any tattoo artist could, go into the basement. I mean, I saw someone breaking into the basement once. They looked like they didn't live there. I thought nothing of it. It was the winter. I assumed it was a homeless person trying to sleep in the warm basement.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever, Mm-hmm. But this place is so cheap. The apartment's not that old looking. The carpets are pretty new.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Why would I change for so much more a month, Like, I don't know. So we're looking at another place that's about $1,200, but if it doesn't I'm like, if I don't like love this place, then I'm not going to bother,
Yeah. It's a lot of effort to go through if it's not that big of a
Exactly.
change.
If it's not like a big upgrade, why am I doing it? Mm-hmm. It just blows my mind how like good, like, because I was like, I rag on my place, but they're pretty good. You know what I mean? Good, like the more I think about it, I read like apartmentratings.com, and they have like a 78%. Mm-hmm. Versus like a lot of other places that are like, the city average is like 65%.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I got it better than a lot of places. Like, they're pretty cool around here. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. It's like, I'm understanding how good I have it right now, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll probably end up re-signing for it one more year, and then maybe we'll buy a house somewhere.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows what the future will hold? But that's it. Apartment hunting sucks.
It does.
And it just sucks. And, like, the pet deposit was $500, but it was refundable, and no pet fees, so that's nice. No, like, monthly pet fee. Just a deposit that you pay, and then you get back. Which is nice, but that's, that's fucking $1,700 up front.
Yeah.
For just the deposit. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck has that money for a deposit? Like, up front. And then the first month's rent. It just blows my mind. Like, I don't know. That's a lot to ask. Half a month's rent seems fair for deposit. Like $600. I don't know. Whatever. Because I know a deposit in our place right here is $250, which is not much. Like, what was your security deposit? Full month?
At there?
At your place.
Oh, mine here? I didn't have one.
Oh, Jesus! You know what I mean? It's like...
Oh, wait, no. Maybe it was a full month. It might have been a full month.
Yeah, I hate that shit. That's way too much money. I think it was
a full month.
That's way too much money.
It's like $750.
Yeah. Well, that's not as bad for you. But, you know, like $1,200 is a lot to ask up front.
It's a lot.
For an apartment. Even though the thought is you'll get it back, it's like, come on, really? Like, because there's no guarantee you get that back. You're just kind of like hanging on. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. I didn't really have much insight, just of the fact that it's fucking ridiculous. It's a jungle out there, Adam, and also no places allow cats, is what I'm learning.
Really?
Every place is like, sorry, no cats. It's like, they're fucking cats, man. They can't do any damage.
Weird. Yeah.
One place required cats to be declawed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's gross, man. I don't like declawing. Clawing's bad. It hurts the cat. It's like you cut off part of their bone. It's bad. That's it. I don't know. That's my rant about that. I guess I have another game I've been playing.
Okay.
I want to try and get Adam to play, but he hates it. He's never even played it.
I didn't say I hate it.
You said you hate it.
I said I don't
All right,
like MOBAs.
let me sell you on this, Adam. You're not a MOBA fan, right?
I'm not a MOBA fan.
What do you not like about MOBAs?
Pretty much everything.
Okay, well, you're going to have to be specific with your criticism, or else it's not a real criticism. I don't like
clicking around to move.
Okay.
And I don't like having to deal with... I don't like multiplayer games. Most
that's already off to a rough start with this game. It is a multiplayer game, and you do click around to move.
I'm okay. I shouldn't say... The click to move thing isn't too big of a deal, because I do play, like, the other games I play.
Yeah. Sure.
Pillars of Eternity.
Sure.
Which is kind of a click to move, like you're partying around, but I don't know. There's something.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing I don't like about MOBAs.
Yeah.
I don't like how complicated they are. Like Dota is like you got leveling, and then you gotta like worry about like all these items you gotta buy, and you gotta buy the right items.
Yeah.
And it really is important, like to know your hero's abilities really well.
Yeah.
All right, I don't like that. All right.
Sure.
I also don't like the fact that there's only one map. For some reason that bothers me. I don't know what it is. It's just the thought of that bothers me. And then the other thing is that they're kind of impenetrable. You know, like how do you get in? It seems difficult because the game is so full of like really high level players that spend all night playing basically that it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Heroes of the Storm is the game that came out from Blizzard this week that does a pretty good job of like fixing that, I think. You know, a lot of the things I dislike about MOBAs it really doesn't have. One of the nice things it has, first off, is it has a really good tutorial. It kind of shows you how to play, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. The other thing that's great is there's no items at all. 0 items. It's just a character progression skill tree.
That is good.
When you level up. It is awesome. Because the items just add an extra layer of variability that I think I don't want in a game, basically, because I'm not going to spend hours thinking about my optimum buy strategy, you know, purchase order while I'm playing, you know. It's like spinning an extra plate while I'm doing an online multiplayer combat game. It just... Whereas if, you know, you build the game around not having that, it's fine. And so there's none of that. Another thing in this game is that experience is shared across the entire team. So you're not leveling yourself up, you're leveling the team up as you're doing things.
Okay.
So that's really nice. So that it really does a really good job of kind of mitigating, like, who the... like so if you have someone who's terrible on the team... They just don't become a feeder for the other team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hero kills don't count as much towards experience like they do in like. So like in Dota 2, you have your lords or your heroes, you know, that you play as, and if you kill another hero, you get a massive experience boost. In this, that isn't nearly the case. Experience kind of rolls up slow as you kill, you know, buildings or other players or creeps, you know, so. You know, the teams always end up pretty closely leveled at the end of the game. Okay. So it doesn't seem unfair. The That's really cool. I like that because it really kind of makes it easier to get into. Because you don't feel like you're underleveled and sucking. You know, you keep up with the rest of the team, basically.
Sure.
Another thing that's great about the game is that there's a lot of maps on it. And what's really cool about it is that the maps have a really interesting mechanics in them. So each map has like a different mechanic in it. So, for instance, there's Blackwater Bay, or whatever the hell it's called, Blackheart Bay, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like a piratey themed map, and there's a pirate king guy in the middle who's like a ghost pirate, and he drops down chests sometimes, and you collect doubloons, and you can take the doubloons to him in the middle of the map, and whichever team gets, you know, the correct amount of doubloons first and hits the go button, he rides around on his ghost ship shooting cannons at the other team's defenses. So it's kind of like a metagame within a game. So you're like doing your, like, you know, pushing a lane, going down, destroying buildings with your creeps, and fighting off other guys, and then collecting doubloons and running to the middle to like drop them off to. So your team's trying to like get enough points to summon the guy to help. You know, that's one example. And then all the other maps have similar things. Like some have different checkpoints that you have to have like 2 of them owned by your guy, and then someone has to run to the center while the 2 like checkpoints are owned, and then you spawn like a big boss guy who does that, or like there's a well that empowers a character. There's mercenaries that you can hire by beating them, and then they join your side, and then, you know, run along the lanes with you. I don't know. It's just very much deeper mechanically, I guess. It's less about like complexity and more about like gameplay complexity. Like there's more just gameplay stuff there.
More strategy and less complexity.
Exactly. It's still that strategic gameplay where you want to have someone covering each lane and like, oh god, there's 3 people up top. We need to pull someone up there to help out so they don't get all the way to the fort, you know. And that kind of gameplay, and then, oh shit, we should go for the objective now. Well, you know, we killed like 2 of their guys, so we need to like push to the center to get the, you know, item, because we'll overpower them there. You know, just like stuff like that. It's in there, but without the ridiculous complexity that Dota has of like having to buy items and work with a courier, and, you know, I don't know. Yeah. It's really cool. And I've been playing a lot as so I bought the starter packs that they had because they know how to sucker people in the first week. And I'm a mark right away. They spotted me a mile away with their $5 starter pack that has 3 heroes, you know, because it works like League of Legends, where each month they have a rotating hero list that are free, right? But they also have them, you can purchase them with in-game currency that you earn, or with real money, right? So that's cool, you know. I like that system. Dota's is nice where everything's unlocked. You just are buying cosmetic stuff.
Right.
But this is different, and that's fine. But one of the nice things is they had the starter pack that was, you know, $5 for the 3 heroes, and like I think 1 cool mount, because you have mounts in the game too. Would make you, you know, so you can travel from one end of the battlefield to the other end faster. The nice thing about the key bindings too is you have your mouse, and then you have like W, E, D, like and R, you know, as your buttons. So it's actually really like easy to, you know, get your hand on just 4 buttons over here to do all the moves, you know. I think Z is mount and dismount, and Hearthstone is B. So basically your whole hand can do the, you know, all of the motions you need.
Well, that's like League and Dota as well. They're all QWE.
Okay, sure. All right, I haven't played a lot of those, so, you know, I played a lot of the original Dota back when it was a Warcraft mod, but not a lot of the newer games. But I like it because it just seems way more accessible. Like, it is very easy to understand how to play. And it just comes down to a straight, like, tactics fight, you know? And you get that accomplishment from doing well. I have yet to win a game, Adam.
Yeah?
I'm having a hard time. I don't know what it is. It's certainly not me. Because I look at the end of game, like, stats. Like, for the last one we played, I thought it was pretty close. And the games end up being a lot closer. And shorter, too, actually. Games are always like 20 to 25 minutes. Whereas Dota games can run to 45 to an hour sometimes.
Right.
So games are a lot shorter, easier to get through. And one of the great things about the game is just how, like, I guess, even it feels. Like, even though we were getting beat, you know, it didn't feel like it was like we were getting stomped, you know? Like, it was like, oh, you know, they're down there, but I'm going to run up to the top where they're unprotected and do some stuff. And, That's pretty cool. There's a large variety of heroes. I guess the one I've been playing right now is Zagara, which is the mother of the Brood, I think.
So yeah, I was going to ask. This is a Blizzard game, but
Yep.
as I understand it, they have like characters from Warcraft and Starcraft and like other Blizzard.
Warcraft,
properties.
Starcraft,
And Diablo in there.
Diablo, yes, and then also other Blizzard games. The three Vikings are in it. The Lost Vikings are playable.
Oh, okay.
The Lost Vikings are interesting mechanically because you actually control 3 characters like an RTS
Oh, really?
with them. Yes. So if you're good at playing them, you can do some interesting stuff. But they're listed as like extremely difficult. So like you need some practice. And there's like bot practice modes. There's co-op mode. So if you wanted to play with me, we could do some co-op against bots. You know,
Okay.
just to learn how to play.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun. I like that. And
Do they have the old guy from Diablo who was always like,
no,
Jesus, it's Diablo?
that's exactly what he said. I'm surprised you remember the dialogue verbatim. Jesus, it's Diablo. I'm an old man who saw a meteor. Yeah, that's
Christ, it's Diablo.
that's him. You got that accent spot on. No,
not
but it's
there?
cool. There's a siege tank.
Yeah.
There's World of Warcraft characters. Your Thrall, like your Sylvanas Windrunner. There's Kerrigan. There's Nova, the ghost. Jim Raynor, of course, from StarCraft.
I don't know anything about StarCraft.
Oh, I played a ton of StarCraft, so I know all these names. But Kerrigan, the Broodmother. But I played Zagara, who's like a Zerg queen. Mm-hmm. And she's a really interesting mechanic that I love. She drops creep on the ground. You know how Zergs work, Adam? At all from StarCraft?
I know you want to rush them.
Okay, yes, that's one that you can do. Zerg rush, yes, as in StarCraft. That's where you just rush the base with quick build as many Zerglings as you can and rush the base because they're fast as fuck.
It's like Blitzkrieg.
Exactly. No, seriously, it's the way it works because like in StarCraft, legitimate strategy is just build a fuck ton of Zerg, like the cheap ones, and then just rush them because they're so fast they'll get across the map really quickly, and likely no defenses will have been built.
Yeah.
So that's a thought. But no, she drops creep, which is like the creep tumors that are on the ground that spawns like this gross like purple ground that's like infested basically for the Zerg.
Like TLC. Got to creep.
Adam. Yes, Adam. Just like that. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so she drops like creep tumors and spreads creep. And she has abilities. She gets healed when she's standing on the creep. And
Okay.
all of her moves. I mean, she has a regular, right click to attack enemies' attacks, but all of her moves are summoning in Zerg basically, which is really fun to play. And it's a really fun class. It's a really fun one to play because she can solo a lot of the like stuff in the game because it's like, hey, you can just drop a bunch of creep down and then spawn in a bunch of Zerg to fight guys for you, and then you just run around like healing yourself, and it's just really cool, actually.
Okay.
I really like character a lot, and it's really fun. It's really satisfying to like work on like you've played MOBAs before, or at least seen them, but like pushing down a lane, dropping creep the whole way, and you move faster on it, you regen faster on it, you do more damage on it, and your things you summon do more damage on it. So it's kind of like a push the creep forward. I don't know. It's just really cool. I love it. And it's kind of a cool mechanic that you can have a character class that's kind of specialized like that, but it works,
Yeah.
There's some other ones that have some weird stuff, too. I think Asmodan from Diablo is like a giant, like, he's kind of on like a, like he's a creepy giant fat dude, right?
Yeah.
But he's like sitting on like a mechanical walker thing, kind of, I guess, or however the fuck it is. But he shoots like a laser that you just hold like the click down. It does like a beam damage.
Yeah.
And it's just like, people say that's like one of the easier ranged guys to play, and that's pretty fun because you just like sit there shooting a beam of laser at a guy, and they just run away in fear, and it's pretty cool. And I don't know, it's just a really cool game. They've done a great job making it accessible. Cool. It's just like how Hearthstone, I hate card games.
Yeah.
Like those collectible card like Magic the Gathering, but Hearthstone I was able to play. They did a really good job teaching the mechanics, playing like against CPU, which is how the training works in this. And then when you get thrown into a game, you're like, okay, I know the rules. I got a basic understanding. I can contribute, and it's fun. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. And then there's daily quests.
Yeah.
So I get a daily quest to play 2 matches as a World of Warcraft hero, and I'll get bonus gold, which is used to buy other characters and outfits.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems really cool though. And then I bought the other starter pack, the biggin starter pack,
Okay.
valued at $120.
Whoa.
I know. It was $40. But it included, like, I think 8 heroes, like 6 outfits, 2 mounts. I was like, that's like a lot. That's like probably a third of all the heroes in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I bought the other pack in this one. It's like, that's $45. I pretty much have a really good basis to start on here. That's like less than the cost of a AAA game. You know, like that's my contribution. Like, I'm going to pay that, have a bunch of stuff to work with, and play the game. So I've been playing with that. But I've just been playing the 1 right now. But I think I have to do a World of Warcraft character now because I guess. And you level each character up, and you get skins if you level them up. I don't know. It's just well made. I mean, it's Blizzard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
They know how to make a good game.
They have a certain
And my old shitty computer, it runs great.
polish. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, actually, how well it runs. Like, on higher settings, too. Like, it's good. They know how to make a game.
Any computer gate updates?
Fuck no. I called them again. They're like, it's power color, man. Don't ever get a fucking video card from Power Color.
Okay.
That's my advice, because they said they sent it to them, and then they were like complaining about how they shouldn't have sent it back because it does work, even though it wasn't working when I plugged it in. Like, you should have just installed the firmware update, and it would have worked. It's like, well, you know, don't ship a fucking broken card, you know.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we're just gonna install the firmware update here and then send it back to you. It's been waiting for 2 weeks now on them. That's been the main holdup. But the nice thing to know is, like, it's like, whatever, man. The motherboard I got works really good. So, like, literally, my computer's fixed now. I just have to get that fucking video card back from Power Color. And they were just like, we're just waiting on them. Keep checking in, man. It's cool. Like, we'll get it. Like, whatever. Sounds like they're not going to charge me too much, so
Yeah.
it's like, whatever. Whatever. It'll be back when it's back.
When was it that you put it in?
January
January?
21st.
January 21st. So,
Yeah, so we're reaching the 6-month mark at this point.
yeah, or at least 5.
It's becoming incredulous.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy.
It's getting a bit much. We're getting to the 5-month mark right now. Doesn't seem like it's just the manufacturer being slow.
Yeah.
I did need 2 motherboards though, because the first one they sent was broken, which sucks. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And they were like, yeah, these. So I'll say it right now: the Cyber Power PC, don't buy from them.
Yeah.
So whatever parts they source are not good. And it's like, we've seen a lot of these machines; they just bust after a few years. The parts they got are shitty. So don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Build it yourself, or buy it from Alienware or something.
Yep.
Spend the extra $200 and get it from a reputable place. That's it. Or build it yourself, man.
Yeah.
I should have just built it myself.
That didn't really help me with my hard drive. Although it does work, I guess. It just doesn't work well.
Yeah, that's not your fault, though. You know, it's just
No,
the hard
it's a
drive's
hardware.
bad. You just need to buy a new one. If you ever do. But it still works. So it's hard to, like, justify buying a new one.
That's the thing. It's just annoying enough to be really annoying,
But not
really
annoying enough
that
to
I want to
justify...
spend $200 on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the hassle of, you know, reinstalling Windows and transferring
Yeah,
everything
all
over.
that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, cool. So that's Computer Gate update. That's part behind this year's storm. That's what I had to talk about, Adam. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think they
Anything
play.
else?
How much does it?
Adam, I got something for you.
Yep.
Let's do one of the articles that have piled up in the article pile.
Okay.
I got one.
All right.
Adam, I saw a Craigslist ad here. It's a reality show producer looking for an assistant for a real Superman show, is the Craigslist ad.
Huh.
New York.
Okay.
This is a very long ad. the ad acknowledges, this is a 5,500 word ad.
That is a long ad.
Because this is an extremely high concept show that I need someone who can handle very high concept material and can take this all in for one ad, because this is the level of complexity that this show is going to be operating on. Adam, you want to know the concept of the show this guy's pitching?
Sure.
Let's get into this. The basic premise of this show, Adam, is that Clark Kent / Superman and all the characters in the DC universe are all fictional portrayals of actual real people in our world. And I believe that by determining who they are in reality, it is possible to create a Superman reality show that is basically like a reality show version of the DC universe in many ways. How's that sound? How's that grab you?
Clark Kent, they're all fictional portrayals of actual people in our world.
Yep. It's a high concept, Adam.
And by determining who they are in reality, it's possible to create a... Okay.
So what I think he's getting at is like... So, like, there's like a guy... There's like Lex Luthor, right? Mm-hmm. That's like Rupert Murdoch. And News Corp is like LexCorp, right?
Sure.
So it's not like he's a superhero, but you're just going to portray Rupert Murdoch as like a Lex Luthor character in a reality show.
Uh-huh. Well, that works for like Lex Luthor, but what about?
And then we got a whole list here, Adam.
Okay.
And then the real, and I like how this pitch has, and then like the real Lois Lane is Ashley Aronson. Don't know who that is. Mm-hmm. And the real Lana Lang is Jillian Zinzer from Beverly Hills 90210. Adam, you want to know who Bruce Wayne is? Guess.
Bill Gates?
Kanye West.
Whoa!
Swerving there.
Yeah.
Hold on to the wheel, Adam, because we're swerving.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian, of course, is Vicky Vale.
Uh-huh.
I think he's trying to think of people that are on reality shows. Like, people that are reality show type people.
Sure.
The real Alfred Pennyworth is actually Kris Jenner.
What?
Yeah.
What, Kris Jenner, who is that?
Caitlyn Jenner now.
Okay.
Kris Jenner. Because sometimes in fictional comics, a woman may be portrayed as a man. So, well, Bruce Wayne is a white billionaire, and Alfred is a butler in the comic. In real life, DC Universe, Bruce Wayne is Kanye West, a black superstar rapper, and Alfred is actually his mother-in-law, Kris Jenner is the mother-in-law, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Bruce Jenner. My bad.
Yeah.
And Alfred is actually his mother-in-law, Kris Jenner.
Uh-huh.
Alright, well, Adam, you think it's crazy?
That's pretty crazy.
Let's go crazier, alright.
Alright.
So, Adam,
yeah.
sometimes the genders also switch from male to female. So, for example, with Perry White, who's the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet,
yeah,
I determined that the real Perry White is actually a black girl named Luffy Paris, who currently works at Facebook. I don't know if this is a real person who he knows that works at Facebook.
I guess.
That's her. And that's what it's like with the original Perry White character was created. It was a long time before women had acquired a lot of power in the working world. So the real Perry White can actually easily be a black woman instead of a man. Because the core essence of Perry White's character in Superman is not gender dependent.
Sure.
Well, Perry White was originally a white man. Then in the recent Man of Steel, Perry was a black man played by Lawrence Fishburne. Mm-hmm. And then in the real Superman, Perry White is an actual black woman named Luffy Paris, who's from Facebook. Because that's how things evolve from a comic book to the real DC universe in real life.
Okay.
Then, with the Daily Planet, the real-life Daily Planet is actually a film production company called Red Line Studios, which is in downtown Manhattan.
Alright, but, like, that's a movie theater. It's nothing to do with next, like, news or anything, though.
I just want to say this, Adam.
Yeah?
After that paragraph, I just want to remind the listener that Perry White is named Luffy Paris, who works at Facebook.
Right.
Who's supposed to be the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. That's in downtown Manhattan, that's actually a movie studio.
Right.
How that works, I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
It seems like that character is not only gender bending, but also having two jobs at the same time.
I'm not even sure I really buy Facebook as like the new Daily Planet because
yeah, maybe Huffington Post,
something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, Adam.
Okay.
We're gonna keep going downhill.
Yeah, well, let's dive further.
Now, the key here that I've determined the way to do this kind of show is like you have to build it and they will come, like in Field of Dreams. As I believe you need Lex Luthor actually in the show. And this Rupert Murdoch, who's this really high-status guy in New York. And we can't waste time actually trying to contact Rupert Murdoch's people to ask him if he wants to be in the show.
Yeah.
We just have to create the show and put Rupert in the show's basic mythology as the real Lex Luthor. And that will cause him to show up in the actual show. Rather than the old-fashioned way of asking him if he wants to be in the show. Because that isn't the way we do things with this kind of thing.
Oh, because that's the way things work. Just like have somebody play a real person, and the real person will be like, "No, wait, I want to play that guy."
Yeah, exactly. No, not even. They're talking about just mentioning him in the show's mythology.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, they're talking about me. I got to be in the show.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see here. Adam, so you know, Rupert Murdoch is not that guy. You can call him up and ask him if he wants to be in a reality show. You just have to figure that he's the real Lex Luthor, and that News Corp is LexCorp. And figure out who Superman is, and then just do the show as a real Superman reality show. And this will cause Rupert Murdoch to appear in the show as a real Lex Luthor. Like, I believe Rupert will actually show and be a main figure in the show, but we can't worry about getting his confirmation in a real way before the show is already being made. That's literally what the article says.
Yeah.
A main character in the Superman is Mercy Graves, who is Lex Luthor's personal bodyguard. And I have determined that Mercy Graves is Wendy Murdoch, who is Rupert's ex-wife. So, like, Wendy Murdoch is always hanging out with Ivanka Trump. And based on that, I figured out that Ivanka Trump is a character from the Superman animated series called Volcana, who's like this pyrokinetic character who can fly and manipulate fire. And our theory there is that some real psychological mechanism that causes the people to end up in a reality show. Such as Wendy Murdoch wants to be famous, and Mercy Graves is a major cool character. I like to think all of these sentences can end with man.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Now, Adam, you're applying for this job to work on this TV show that is totally going to exist. Now, it's important for my personal assistant to understand who I am, that I am able to figure this stuff out and do this. I actually developed the ability to figure out who the real characters are in real life after I made the discovery that I myself am a real version of a fictional character. And that's that I'm actually the real Harry Potter.
What the fuck?
I basically one day just figured out that Harry Potter was a fictional version of me, and that Hogwarts was a fictional version of my old boarding school, Phillips Exeter Academy.
Oh my god.
When I realized all the signs were there. Like, I have an actual lightning scar on my forehead that's the same as Harry Potter's lightning scar in the book, which I got under mysterious circumstances. And all the characters in Harry Potter are real people from Phillips Exeter, like my old dorm head, Townie Chiselholm, who was a real uptight and always busting me for everything, like the real Severus Snape.
Oh, God.
And the school's current principal, Thomas Hassan, is actually the real Albus Dumbledore. And Mr. Chisholm and Principal Hassan are just real-life versions of Severus Snape and Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter. Because Phillips Exeter is actually the real-life Hogwarts. It's actually something I've discovered that pretty much most fictional characters have some real-life version in our world who's alive today. Like, if you take Ivanka Trump, who's Volcana in Superman, she's married to Jared Kushner, who owns the New York Observer. And I determined that Jared is the real Charles Foster Kane from Orson Welles' classic Citizen Kane.
What the fuck?
Like, the way it works is that Orson had some prophetic vision of Jared Kushner many, many years ago.
Oh my god.
And Orson basically created a mythic portrayal of Jared Kushner as Charles Foster Kane a long time ago. But in real life, Jared Kushner is just the real Citizen Kane. And he's exactly like Orson's Charles Foster Kane in real life. Adam?
So I guess art really does imitate life.
Apparently. Adam?
Yeah? Yeah?
You ready for an Ayn Rand coming up?
Oh, I can't wait.
And so, you know it's going there. Any discussion like this eventually ends in Ayn Rand. And sometimes characters are more than one person because they have multiple mythic portrayals. So with Ivanka Trump, who is Volcana in Superman, she's also the main character of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, because Ivanka Trump is actually the real Dagny Taggart.
Oh boy.
Which is that a character's name? Because that's
the main character.
That's an amazing fucking name.
It is
Who
a great
the
character.
fuck is named Dagny? But you know what? Fucking Taggart as the last name is awesome.
It is.
That's like a policeman.
Yeah.
Taggart, P.I.
She's actually a railroad lady.
Railroad Baron.
Yeah, basically.
It's just kicking people onto the tracks.
No.
All the non-producers.
No.
So anyway, so if you have someone who's a major figure like Ivanka, who's Volcano, they'll often have more than one mythic form. This guy's really obsessed with Ivanka Trump. I don't even know who that is. But
I've never heard of it.
it's
But I guess she's Donald Trump's
Trump's wife, I'm assuming. Something like
Maybe.
that.
Daughter, maybe. I don't
Daughter, yeah, maybe. Case she's both Volcana and Superman, and also the main character of Atlas Shrugged as Dagny Taggart. And the Trump organization is actually the real Taggart Transcontinental. You know what? That's probably not too far off. So, because I'm sure Donald Trump loves Ayn Rand. So in Atlas Shrugged, Taggart Transcontinental is a transcontinental railroad, and in real life, it's a Trump organization, which is a transcontinental real estate development company, which is a real-life version of Taggart Transcontinental. I'm glad that in 3 sentences...
I was going to say, he said that like 3 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
And Ivanka is a vice president of the Trump organization, just how Dagny Taggart is the vice president of her family's Taggart Transcontinental business. And Atlas Shrugged. Adam, and then there's a whole answer to the obvious question. So what the obvious question is, wait, who is Donald Trump in Superman? And the answer is that Donald Trump is the real Gorilla Grodd.
Okay, so that's definitely sarcastic. Like, he's not really...
But just as one last spoiler, Adam.
Yeah.
The real Ganondorf is Jimmy Fallon. The real Legend of Zelda is like Jimmy Fallon kidnapping Zelda Williams.
Oh my god.
In some way to take over the real Triforce. And it's an absurd story. But Legend of Zelda is an absurd game. And before anyone asks, there's also a real Star Wars. And Han Solo is Hollywood talent agent from the Koner agency named John Coffey. And Chewbacca is his pet Bichon Frise dog.
Oh, man.
And so Chewbacca in real life is actually a real dog. And it's the dog of John Coffey from the Koner agency, who's the real Han Solo. I like how
just said
he writes
that.
the sentence and then writes it back in the opposite order. And the real Yoda is the philosopher Saul Kripke, who actually sounds just like Yoda in real life.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe you can find a better job. But maybe you're interested. Here are some HR things about the job to keep you in mind. And mainly I need an assistant who can handle the task of finding and acquiring backers and funding for the production. I'll need someone chill who just goes with the flow and doesn't take things too seriously as well. I like to run a laid-back production and not have people being overworked or exploited in any way. Compensation. Based on level of funding show has. Compensation may start low, but will rise as production progresses.
Yeah, I doubt that. Don't see any rise to this.
Adam, you want to know what else you gotta do as an assistant?
Yeah.
I might just write a synopsis for a story arc. I don't have time to edit or spell check. It may be just 150 pages.
Whoa.
Which is about 50 pages more than a script. I just need someone who can, take a 150-page synopsis email and digest it without me having to edit it, because I don't have time for that. Honestly, I do tend to write 30-page long emails on a regular basis. This job ad is just me writing a rough job ad quickly in the way I operate. It's meant to be that, if you write for the job, you'd be someone who can read this job ad and be like, oh, cool, sounds like a really cool, fun project, and not feel like, oh my god, this is the most overwhelming and insane thing ever. It's not insane to me. It's just normal and regular. This is the usual level my brain operates on. This is a reflection of the level I'm thinking on pretty much all the time, actually. So basically, in a nutshell, I need someone who can just keep up.
Okay, that is scary. Wow. If that's the way his brain normally works, that is frightening.
Adam, what drug do you think that was?
Sounds like speed or
Cocaine, my friend.
cocaine.
No
Yeah.
way that ain't cocaine. Just yelling out fucking garbled story bits.
Yeah, maybe meth. I could see some meth.
No, we're talking about New York, man. This is New York's high speed city. Gotta have your cocaine.
Yeah, you're right. Meth is a Midwest thing.
Yeah, out in the country. Also, when you're on meth, I don't think you're writing. I think you're like flipping trucks over.
Not necessarily.
I guess not. I personally don't have
That's
a lot of
PCP.
experience with meth. No,
That's
meth is
PCP.
kind of like that too, actually. Supposedly,
suppose.
meth thinks that you have makes you think you have superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's going to end it for the show.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay tuned,
I know.
we'll
I do.
have Jon and Adam's Wrestling Talk Down after the break. Adam, what were you going to say?
I said, I know I do. Want to stay until after the break?
You got to stick around. Got to stick around if you want to hear about what happened in the Elimination Chamber.
Indeed.
We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event. Wrestling Talk with Jon and Adam. All right, welcome to the Wrestling Talk Down with Jon and Adam.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber. What's going on? Adam,
Yeah.
you watch Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
How would you describe that pay-per-view?
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good, I would say.
Good matches interspersed with amazing matches.
Yeah. There are a couple...
Pretty
yeah,
good.
the Intercontinental match was really bad.
I didn't think it was bad.
I guess you have to... I don't know.
I think you the one thing that you said would not happen happened, but other
What
than
was
that,
that?
you said Ryback would never win it.
I just didn't think they were going to push that guy.
They've been, I don't know, they've been...
To be fair to Ryback, you know what? This is his first singles title, you know?
Yeah,
He's been a pretty decent presence.
yeah.
I think he deserves a singles title. So
I've definitely
good
seen
enough.
them pushing him, that's for sure.
Well, I think he's always gotten over just without having to have a title, you know?
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's got a fun catchphrase.
He's the big guy.
He's impressive looking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, why can't you just give it to Ziggler?
Because he was Intercontinental Champion last year.
I don't care. I don't fucking care.
You don't care. You're just a Ziggler mark.
I am.
Oh, well, he'll be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, so.
Yeah, he won't win.
But he won't win, though. It'll be
I know.
Roman Reigns.
I know. I fucking know. God damn
That's
it.
all right. But what you won't know is who's going to win in the Cena versus Owens match.
Yeah.
Because that, can I just say, was probably one of the best matches of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
That was probably the most I've enjoyed a match since Daniel Bryan beat Batista and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Like, had me the most on the edge of my seat. Because with that, they teased Daniel Bryan going over for so long and taking it away from him for so long. It was just like, oh my god, they could totally not give him the championship here, and I would kill myself. But they did, and it was incredible. And the same thing with Owens. It's like, they were not going to give it to him. But they could. And then the whole match, you're like, man, he's really doing every move in the entire wrestling handbook.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, he blew expectations just out of the water with him. I mean, that match, one of the most technically complex matches. I mean, he did a fucking top rope senton.
yeah.
We're talking about a 300-pound guy jumping off the top rope and landing with his head on the opponent of the other the other wrestler. It's just wow.
And he did the thing where he, flipped around, too. He, was on the second rope and
yes,
jumped
correct.
up.
He jumped and bounced off the ropes and went backwards. It was insanity.
It was insanity.
He also did a crazy, inverted fisherman's suplex off, the second rope or top rope.
Yeah.
that was pretty incredible. And then he did, and as soon as he did, I was like, oh my god, he's doing the package pile driver. He fucking put Cena in the package pile driver position, but then did a weird side slam with it, which was still kind of an interesting looking move, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was very technical and looked cool, and obviously he was able to do it, and maybe that's the package pile driver that is safe, you know, because no one's head is in danger of hitting the ground, which is the problem with the package pile driver.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kevin Owens has injured anyone with it. It's not like AJ Styles with the Styles Clash, he's ended 2 wrestling careers with that move. Because it is dangerous. It's not his fault, because he lets people know how to take the move, but people just forget when they're in a match. Because with the Styles Clash, have you ever seen that move before? Mm-hmm. It kind of holds them up like kind of a tombstone pile driver a little bit, right? But like their chest is out, you know, so his chest is against their back, and their legs are up over his head, and then he wraps his legs around their arms and then drops forward, lands them on their stomach. But most wrestling moves, what do you do, Adam, when you're taking a bump? Tuck your chin.
Yeah, you tuck your chin.
So your head doesn't bounce against the mat. With this one, you tuck your chin, your neck hits the mat. You have to extend your neck back so that your chest hits flat.
Yeah. Which
is the opposite of most moves where you land on your back. And that's what makes it dangerous. But anyway, so that's just a move. He had an incredible match. Probably one of the best debuts of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
Kane's debut was pretty incredible because he just kind of showed up and fiery death, basically. This fucking masked, scary guy to confront Undertaker. That was pretty good. Undertaker's debut was pretty incredible at Survivor Series in like 1990, I think, with no knowing of who he was. It was just this dude who looked like a dead man showing up, and then I believe they lost their match, but he like came out later and like just started kicking fools and like knocking people out, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's a monster. Giant's debut was pretty incredible. I don't know, there's been great debuts, but this is up there. Like, to take on, you know, a 15-time world champion in a match at a pay-per-view and win clean. Kick out of his finishers, both of them. Hit him with his own finisher at one point in the match. As soon as he brought him up, I was like, he's going to do the AA. And then Cena reversed it. And then he did it later and hit the AA, and I was like, oh my fucking god. They are just letting him do this. Like, I mean, the rumors have been around there that Kevin Owens is kind of like best friends with Triple H. That seems to be true. I think he's being protected by Triple H. But it works. I mean, because the only thing Kevin Owens needs to succeed in the WWE is
a chance.
I mean, the guy... I mean, think about it this way, Adam. Like, look at our wrestler ranking system. The only thing he's deficient on is look. He doesn't look traditional. But he works his look to work for him, you know? He's kind of a baby-faced killer, you know, which is kind of a cool concept. But he doesn't have that traditional bodybuilder physique. But on the mic, he's a 10. In the ring, he's like an 8 or 9 or a 10. I mean, like, this guy, let him wrestle, let him talk, he's done. It's over. You know what I mean? Like, Stone Cold, he wasn't a very handsome guy. He was just kind of badass looking. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was extremely in shape. I mean, he was a cut dude. But, you know, like in his later years when he had that knee brace and everything, he couldn't, you know, move the way he used to. Or, you know, he'd gained a little bit of the weight. He lost kind of the ripped physique he had when he was younger, but he still was impressive, you know? So it just works. And I can't imagine just the big... I mean, Kevin Owens, when he was Kevin Steen, did Weekend Escapades, right? I think I linked you those. Where he would just... Those are incredible to watch, by the way. Because he just basically is him recording himself on his iPhone as he travels around the country doing, like, indie wrestling events. You know, and they're really fun to watch. Because you get, like, a behind-the-scenes of, like, a traveling, you know, wrestler, which is cool. But he did one for Elimination Chamber, actually. On the WWE produced it, actually. It's called... Not called Weekend Escapades, but I really hope they continue that. Because that's something really cool with his character. And he was able to do it, he actually did it all in kayfabe. Where he was just talking about, like, you know, like those fans were waiting for him in the airport, and he was like, they don't know who I am. you know. And he's talking about like how his family got him here, and like his dad and mom like sacrificed so much to let him try out to be a wrestler, and people like Jim Cornette said he would never make it. He calls Jim Cornette out. Do you know the story of Jim Cornette and Kevin Steen?
No.
So Jim Cornette was the booker at Ring of Honor for a while, and he really disliked Kevin Steen and Ramy Sebi, or Sami Zayn as he is now. Hated those guys. He hated El Generico because he was like, you can perform in ring, but you don't talk. You know, we can't have a wrestler that doesn't talk. You know, you got to take the mask off and cut a promo. And, you know, he wasn't having it. It was his character. It was El Generico, you know. Yeah. And it worked. It got over, like, in the Indies. Like, I don't understand.
They still do the Ole Ole.
Exactly.
For him,
still gets those chants. Like, it clearly had an impact. You know what I mean? Like, there were people on Raw with that chant. You know, people know that chant. And it worked. And then Kevin Steen, he was like, oh, you got to lose weight. You know, you got to lose 40 pounds. You can't wrestle in a t-shirt. No one who ever wrestles in a t-shirt is ever going to make it. You know what I mean? Say that to Kevin Owens. You know what I mean? Like, he defeated the champion. You know, the WWE, and it's just incredible. And it's just him. When you watch it, you're like, oh, this guy, he doesn't look like he can wrestle. And you watch him wrestle a match, and you're like, okay, he moves a lot faster than I thought he would. And okay, it looks really powerful when he's throwing a gigantically muscled up John Cena into the air and slamming him into the ground. Yeah. You know, it's...
After having wrestled for 20 minutes already.
He can do... Yeah, and that was a long fucking match.
It was a long match.
That was literally like... Here are my detractors going to say, I can't do cardio, I can't run a long match, I can't lift someone as big as Cena up, because I don't look the part. And he fucking just blew through every single barrier.
Yeah.
And you can tell he did well, because all of the announcers this week have just been talking up Kevin Owens.
The other thing I was surprised about is, like, that match was so intense, there was, like, no resting periods in that hardly at all.
Nope.
They were short. Like,
there were a couple chin locks, but not much.
Yeah, it was
not a lot of time out of the ring either.
No.
So we got Money in the Bank coming straight up, man.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is going to rocket to the top of my list here because okay, Adam, you haven't watched Monday Night Raw. You have to watch the segment with him. Adam.
The promo? Yeah,
yes,
promo?
Watch the Hulu Plus. Fast forward to the part where Kevin Owens comes out and watch the promo that he does with John Cena.
Okay.
Not only is this is how good Kevin Owens is as a wrestler, and this is what you want in your company. You know, when you think about not even just wrestling, but you talk about a company, is that not only was Kevin Owens incredible in his promo, talking shit about John Cena, just saying like, in his promo, he talks about his son idolizes John Cena and not him. You know, only because John Cena got to be on WWE and he didn't. You know, like, my son should idolize me, but he doesn't. Because John Cena was pushed. John Cena's got the flashy t-shirts. He's got the catchphrases. You know what I mean? He's not a real hard worker. I am, you know.
Yeah.
And John Cena comes out and just cuts one of the best promos I've ever seen. I mean, the thing with Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen is he doesn't just put on a good show. He elevates people around him. You know what I mean? And that's something John Cena does, too. Is that John Cena makes people look good. You know what I mean? When he's wrestling with them. And that's the same way Kevin Owens is. And if you can do that as a wrestler, you know, like just elevate everyone around you, you're going to go far. Because there's not, you know, like that's why Heath Slater still wrestles, Adam.
Yeah.
Because even though he doesn't get a lot of airtime, but when he does wrestle, he works a good match. You know, he's good at selling offense. Like, you put him out there and he does some fun gimmicks. He flips over the top rope, gets a clothesline. It looks impressive, and he makes everyone else look better around him. You know, it's like people like that are always going to have a job. You know what I mean? Cesaro, same way. Like, even though Vince kind of had some grudge against him, like, you put him in a match, it's impressive. People talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, did you see what the stuff he did? You know, do you see how, like, he uppercutted this guy, but he kicked out of it? You know, it's like, it makes everyone else look good, you know? And Kevin Owens, like, I would have thought I was worried, you know? Because he just doesn't have that look. Yeah. But you know what? It turns out it looks like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter. I mean, looks aren't everything, especially for a heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen the way that they're playing him. He's naturally a heel. He's played a heel most of his life. It makes sense. You know, he's a big, imposing guy. It's tough for those guys to be baby faces. You know, you think the key. You know, look at the big guys they have. Is Kane a baby face? No. He was when they were in Team Hell No, actually, with Daniel Bryan. But that was Daniel Bryan being able to elevate Kane to being likable,
Yeah.
which is an impressive feat, actually, when you think about it. God, Adam, I wish you could see some of that stuff. Just the Daniel Bryan, Kane, they had such good chemistry together. Just, you know, Daniel Bryan being like the little guy who's like optimistic. It's kind of like Enzo and Big Cass in a little bit of a way. You know, just got the little guy and the big guy who doesn't talk much but kicks ass, and the little guy who's just running around. It was a cool combo, Team Hell No. And they were both angry. You know, Daniel Bryan was yelling no. Kane, of course, is a demon. So they took anger management classes together, and those are pretty fun. They had some good stuff there. But yeah, you know, it's just I was worried about Kevin Owens, but I was just like, you know what they need to do? They need to do what they did with CM Punk that got CM Punk over.
Yeah.
And what got CM Punk over was the pipe bomb. It was just give him a mic, let him do his thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they did that with Kevin Owens. They gave him a mic, let him talk, and he just is good on the mic, you know? Mm-hmm. He is a good promo. Like, he fires up the audience to boo at him. And then John Cena comes out to more cheers than I usually hear from John Cena. You know, it just builds a feud. And it's perfect. It's amazing, Adam. Wrestling is like that, you know? Like, there was a rough period, you know, before WrestleMania, where it was kind of like, they kind of have this plan, and nothing special's happening, there's no surprises. And then, you know, after WrestleMania, they're just like, you know what, we got a new plan, and there's some cool stuff happening. So, that's cool.
Yeah.
How'd you like the tag match?
Oh, that was pretty good, too.
Yeah, I think my main gripe with the Elimination Chamber, Adam,
yeah,
is that we're wrestling PG, and the Elimination Chamber is kind of scary.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with the chamber. Like in the tag match, they had that cool moment where Kalisto was constantly being like pulled down onto the chains by the New Day, you know, because he walked over towards their pod. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that Sheamus like had it jammed with the.
Yep, I like how Sheamus jammed his pod so he didn't have to go in. You know, there's some cool stuff, but overall, I just feel like the Elimination Chamber, for how crazy it is, doesn't seem to add a lot to the match.
That's
particularly,
true. I mean,
if you look at that Intercontinental match, that match was like, well, you're not going to, because why would you waste your time doing this? But if you watch it again, it's bad. It's very slow.
It is really slow, yeah.
It was. They didn't really use the chamber in any way, other than just people coming out of pods.
I will say they did do, at least towards the end, they were doing a lot of stuff on the grates, which just looked really painful to me.
If you watch that match, actually, Adam, I'm sure the Botchamania will come out that we can watch together.
Oh, when the guy ran into the pod with his head?
No, that's not it.
Oh, that looked like it was a mistake.
If you watch that back, you can see Ziggler loudly calling a lot of spots. Like, just trying desperately to get the match back together. Yeah. Because there's just a period in the middle when a lot of people were out where it was just like everyone was kind of pairing off, doing their like rest holds, and it was like, what's happening, guys? Like, this was not planned very well. Yeah. And you know, Ziggler's trying his darndest to get something going.
He would. Ziggler's awesome.
He is amazing. You know, he's incredible. He'll always have a spot. He's great. And he's got a great feud with Rusev right now.
Yeah. Well, Rusev's out for now.
You should actually watch the promo with Rusev. Because he comes out and basically bears his soul to Lana.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, he says, I'm a broken man. Yeah. I have no title. I have a broken foot. I lost the love of my life. And you're just like, oh, Rusev. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's pretty good. It's kind of neat what they're doing with this. They're adding a depth to his character, which is nice.
I did see the tweet from Rusev that was like, stupid American doctors won't let me compete.
Do you see Enzo's tweet? Huh? Do you see Enzo's tweet about it?
No.
Oh, man. Enzo said That fool, when he was back in NXT, I told him, you gotta wrestle in boots, you're gonna hurt your foot.
That's great.
Can't say I didn't tell him so. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
Enzo, you're great.
That was great.
Oh, shit. So, that was Elimination Chamber. I mean, and we gotta talk about the finish. The Dusty finish, as it's called.
Yeah.
Incredible. I know people complain about that, but it's like...
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was perfect. It fits Ambrose's fucking character to a T. Any other wrestler, it would have been kind of bullshit, because it's what they did to Dan O'Brien a lot.
Yeah.
But with Ambrose, it's like, you know what, fuck you. I'm just going to take the title, because that's Ambrose. He's like, fuck you guys. I'm going to wear my sweet leather jacket and walk around with the belt and say I'm the champion because you all saw it. I pinned Seth Rollins clean in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, know? But I love that. I love that. You know what I mean?
Me too.
And it was perfect. It was the perfect finish for that guy.
That was a good match, too.
It was an incredible match.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns is teasing, was kind of, I feel like the WWE is doing a really good job of throwing people off the scent right now.
Yeah.
These people are like, oh, is Roman Reigns going to turn heel? And it's like, well, he kind of acted really friendly around Ambrose, like almost too much. But he didn't. He didn't. And he came out Monday. The Authority came out and demanded Ambrose showed up, and of course, Reigns came out and just basically gloated the whole time. It was like, well, he's not here, guys. Like, should have got him when he had the chance. Like it was just pretty good. He cut a pretty decent promo there. And then on Raw, Reigns wrestled 3 matches, Adam.
Whoa.
Yeah. And he was good in all of them.
Wow.
It's pretty much Roman Reigns is turning into the guy that they wanted him to be, I think. And that's good. I'm glad. Because this time last year, he had a hard time finishing a singles match. And to be able to wrestle 3 matches in one night, I mean, he brought Bad News Barrett and actually like a really impressive match, one-on-one. And I think he fought... It wasn't Big Show. God, he fought someone else. Fuck. And it might have been Sheamus, maybe? And then he fought Bray Wyatt to end the show. I mean, it was incredible. It was just like, man, this guy can go. Like, I'm not hating on Roman Reigns anymore, He's legitimate. They did a good job. And we got to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan saying he's not retired. That was pretty definite. Like, The Miz was like, because they're, interesting. So, like, the dirt sheets have usually kept a pretty good job of, informing people of injuries or, like, knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
I think the WWE has a new policy that's much, much more tight-lipped, about injuries. And so we don't know. So no one's known what's going on with Daniel Bryan, They haven't said. So to have him come out and say, I'm definitely not done wrestling, was good. Yeah. So obviously it's not something super serious. It's just something he's working through, and he'll be back when he's ready. Like, they're obviously still invested in him because obviously he's very beloved, which has been shown. But that's it, really. So it's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. I don't know. I'm just happy that it wasn't like I don't know. It's I'm coming back. Yeah. So it's not if, it's when. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see here. What else is going on? NXT was pretty cool. Kind of continuing stuff.
Yeah, it was good, but there wasn't a whole lot of
but that's what you got to think about, Adam.
Yeah.
The reason why NXT, people are like, oh, NXT is better than the main show. And it is. And it was. It's because NXT is full of people that have been wrestling for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And as those people get called up, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you have Kevin Owens, you have Sami Zayn, you have Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, like 4 10-year veterans.
Yeah.
The matches are going to be great. The promos are going to be good, So we'll see. When you have like Sami Callihan, who's I think they got to do something with him. He's what's his name on Solomon Crow.
Or Solomon Crow, yeah.
Yes. He's incredible. I watched a lot of stuff. Adam, if you want something fun, watch the Dean Ambrose and CZW retrospective vids.
Yeah.
He was in Combat Zone Wrestling as John Moxley for a while. But he and Sami Callihan, who is Solomon Crow, wrestled together as the Switchblade Conspiracy.
Yeah.
And they got some good shit they did. Like some great promos. And you watch Ambrose back then, like 10 years younger, or, maybe 8 years younger, but you watch him and he's fucking incredible. He's just mesmerizing. That guy's got something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love it, So I'm really looking forward to maybe, I doubt he wins the ladder match, But obviously, they have him running in kind of the main event slot right now.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that it's good. Like, It's good TV. I'm interested. I'm happy. So even if this is not his time to run the main event, it's very clear that he can handle it.
Yeah.
So we'll see that in the future, I think.
I hope so, yeah.
And I think Roman Reigns as well.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. He's
definitely.
really, he had a lot of fan detractors, but he's really just been like, you know what? I'm going to be good, and people will stop hating. And that's what's going on. He's just gotten better and better. There's nothing really to say anymore. Maybe he's not a great promo, but lately he hasn't really, I think they gave him a lot less strictly scripted stuff, you know? And a lot more like, here's some cool stuff to say off the cuff, I'll get the beers, loser gets the beers, or, it's just like, that's some cool stuff, be a cool guy, you know? That's cool, and I like it, because he seems like a nice guy. And, when they had him just being the serious, I'm going to shut your mouth with my fist, it's like, okay, nobody talks like that, dude.
Right.
Much less a babyface doesn't talk that way. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and plus, like, whenever you hear him talking outside of the ring, he doesn't sound anything like that.
Yeah. They just need to bring that character in. And that's a lot of the times the problem the WWE has. When people fail, it's like they don't get to be themselves. Because you got to be yourself. At least a little bit, Like they always say the best wrestling character is yourself turned up to 11. When you think about it, who's that? John Cena, for sure. CM Punk, for sure. Those guys were just themselves turned up to 11. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we got one last thing to talk about before we move on. So we got to end the show. Adam?
Yeah.
Do you know what the most exciting thing that I look forward to every episode of Raw and SmackDown is?
What?
Motherfucking The New Day. They are so good.
They're pretty good.
You have to... Adam, you don't watch Raw and SmackDown.
I've seen them on Raw a couple times.
Okay, but I watched Periscope video of Tom Phillips, right? Was backstage. He's a WWE, like not an announcer, but like he does announce SmackDown, but he was, just backstage doing interviews. Just doing like Periscope Live. And the New Day comes over and just basically yells at him for like 3 minutes straight. Just like talking about how they're the New Day, how the primetime players came out and ambushed them, and that's bullshit, And like yelling at him for not being in landscape mode when he's like shooting his video, and like he turns the camera, and like and they're just yelling at him. He's like, "That's right, man!" And then like, dude, and Xavier Woods has been amazing. He's really stood out as the talker. He's kind of the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And there's an amazing part where Big E was yelling at him, and then he says to Tom Phillips, he's like, "Hey, look at him when you're talking to me." He's just really confused, They're like yelling at him. Big E's like looking furious. He's like, "Look at him when you're talking to me. Like, don't look at me. Look at him." It's just like this crazy zany, like just. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really love that they just went to the extreme of we're crazy people who are super upbeat.
Yeah.
Even though everyone's booing at us. And they just are, doing these shady things to win matches,
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. I love how Xavier Woods before the match was just like, I'm very claustrophobic. I don't want to be in that pod with the other two. And they're like, you got to do it, man. And they're like, all right. I love that, just the little touches.
Yeah.
They're having a lot of fun. I really think that that's great. And it's something that the WWE has had a really difficult time with, is having, black characters that are good.
Yeah.
Because it always turns out like a black character is just like a black guy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
And the New Day is just something ridiculous.
Kind of.
Just you know what I mean?
Also, if you looked at their promos before they came out, it was all like
no, it's true.
Gospel choir.
Yes, you're right. But they've moved beyond that now.
They have,
and that's important.
Yeah, it's still
Adam,
worrying.
After SmackDown, you know who the number one contenders are? Primetime players, man.
Ooh. Cool.
Yeah, so they're going to have a match at Money in the Bank for the tag titles. I'm really looking forward to that.
Titus O'Neil and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Darren Young.
Darren Young, that's what it is.
And they've actually been really good as of late.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's actually kind of awesome when you think about it. The WWE right now has 5 black performers, in a title match. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not that like they were pushed there. It's that the New Day got over as awesome heels.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not because they're black, just because they're good at being heels.
Yeah.
And the primetime players got over as faces because they're likable. Titus O'Neil's a funny guy.
Yeah.
They did some fun promos where they're ripping on like the New Day and ripping on what's it called? Fuck. Ascension. They dressed up in fake Ascension makeup and made fun of them.
Ooh.
It was good. And get this.
Yep.
Did you hear about the injury at SmackDown?
No.
Tyson Kidd might be out for a long time.
No. Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, so Kid Cesaro breakup might happen, and Kid Cesaro as a tag team competing is probably done for a little while.
That sucks.
It does suck, but I think Cesaro can get over by himself.
I hope so.
He's a good heel. Unfortunately, they were working as faces. So
yeah, and also they didn't take anything of Cesaro. Like that whole thing was like Tyson Kidd. He was
the talker. He had his wife with him.
And Cesaro was doing the whole headphones and hoodie thing.
I love that shit. I know
think it's funny too.
Everyone complained about it, but I love it because it's really unique. And I kind of like that he comes out, because you watch boxing matches.
Yeah.
And dudes come out with their head covered, all serious, and it looks cool. And he talked about that. He's talked about that in interviews. He's like, I'm going to come out the way I like to come out. If I could come out without music, just come out, pumping my fists, wearing the robe, just come out and do my business. I want to look badass. I'm like, all right, that's a way to do it,
Yeah, I'm just worried that so much of the appeal of that group is
Tyson Kidd's ridiculousness.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they can still get by. I mean, if Tyson Kidd's injured now, right?
Yeah.
But he can still accompany Cesaro to the ring during their singles stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They could be like, I'm down and out right now. I'm injured, but I'm still gonna help my tag bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cesaro's definitely a good enough wrestler. Right?
Oh, I know, exactly. It's like, maybe his character hasn't really meshed or worked or whatever.
That's the problem.
But you put him in a ring with someone, he makes them look good, and that's important. You know what I mean? He just puts on a solid match that's impressive. So, that's it, really.
Indeed.
I don't think we have much else to say, other than it looks like there's going to be a live Japan show.
Yes.
It's going to be broadcast on the network,
July
which
4th.
I'm really looking forward to over the holiday weekend. And it's been confirmed that the Kevin Owens, Finn Balor championship match is going to happen there.
Yeah.
And I think we know who's going to win.
I think so, too.
I think Finn Balor takes it.
I think so, too.
He's well known in Japan.
Yeah.
So he'll get a lot of cheers. I think he definitely is a credible threat from the way he looks and the way he's wrestled for Kevin Owens.
Yep.
I think it'll be an incredible match. And then that frees up Kevin Owens to be in the main roster. Because I bet about that time he'll have his final match with John Cena. I think the way that they're going to have it is Kevin Owens wins the first match, which blows my mind that they let that happen.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. You know,
Yes.
he's the heel, and he comes in, beats up the face. Now the face has to fight back. I think that he's gonna. There's two ways they can book this. He's either gonna go over John Cena again, and just decimate him, and then the final match will be John Cena-ing up with the title on the line and winning.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or they're gonna have John Cena win this match. And then have Kevin Owens win the rubber match, and win maybe the U.S. title off of him. You know what I mean? That would make the U.S. title legitimate, because it was fought in a feud with two people, wrestling back and forth. So, I mean, that's a thought. I think that's one way to do it. And I think whatever's going to happen, they put him in a feud with anyone, it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I would. I mean, you just think about it. Like someone on Reddit, I saw posted a thread that said Kevin Owens has a feud ready for every single person.
That's true.
In the WWE. When you think about it, his character can just mesh with any other feud. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking it'd be really fun to see him feud with Sheamus because Sheamus is so fucking retarded.
You really don't like Sheamus.
No, it's not even that. I think he's a good enough wrestler and a good enough. Yeah, but the thing he's got going on right now is just over the top.
You could make fun of him quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You come out with a weird wig,
Yeah.
Wear one of those Sheamus Carrot Top wigs that they sell. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
He's a good heel. It'll be great, and I could see him getting over it. And basically, when Sami Zayn calls up, they're going to have a hell of a non-title feud. You know what I mean? I think that they don't need to have a title, but maybe he has the U.S. title, and they can have a feud over the U.S. title. Which, you know what I mean? Yeah. It makes sense to me for Kevin Owens to have the U.S. title. And then have a feud when Sami Zayn comes up to really elevate both performers. So, I mean, those two, like John Cena and Kevin Owens, can wrestle a good match together.
Yeah.
Put them on a pay-per-view and people will talk about it. I love it. The WWE is doing well.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, what it sounds like to me, Adam, and the rumors have been, there's been two main factions in the creative, and that's the older guys that are Vince McMahon
and Triple H.
Those guys. And then there's the Triple H faction, which is the NXT and newer guys. And it sounds like the Triple H faction is getting a little bit more room to run now. And that's, I think, why we're seeing some better stuff on TV now.
Yeah.
Especially on the main stuff. So, yeah. So, Adam, definitely watch both Kevin Owens segments from Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
The Raw one's incredible. That's a must-watch. The SmackDown is just Kevin Owens getting to respond to it.
Okay.
Without Cena being there. And he does his own NXT Championship Open Challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
And Adam, you want to know what he does in his NXT Open Challenge match? What is the first thing Kevin Owens does when that match starts?
Run out.
That's correct. I loved it. As soon as it happens, like, yes, they got to keep doing that because it's a great thing.
Yeah.
So we'll watch. So watch that, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh, I have something actually.
What?
Yeah.
Wrestling related?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
I did not realize this, but apparently Comcast in our area carries El Rey.
Oh, you watching Lucha Underground?
I don't have it, but my parents do.
Oh yeah,
and I got to see a little bit of Lucha Underground. Yeah.
So yeah, I have Sling TV, which is a $20 a month. Like you get ESPN and a couple other channels, right? Mm-hmm. El Rey is one of the channels.
Oh, is it?
I just want to say this. El Rey is a fucking awesome channel.
It is. They have
it's
all kinds of awesome 70s
It's literally all action movies, and old kung fu movies, and wrestling.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a great channel.
And Lucha Underground is really cool.
It is.
I've caught one episode.
It's half like telenovela.
Exactly.
Half wrestling match.
It's literally it's exactly the best way to put it. It's literally like half Mexican soap opera, half wrestling, and it actually is pretty cool.
I got to see Johnny Mundo versus what's his name? Isn't it Aeropostale or something?
I don't think it's Aeropostale.
It's not. It's Aero something though. It was a pretty awesome match.
Yeah, they've done
Those
some
guys
cool
do some
shit.
cool stuff.
They do. So awesome.
And some sweet costumes as well.
And also, one other wrestling news note. I mean, people probably already heard this, because, you know what? Think about it this way, Adam. If you watch wrestling, you're probably way into it. So you know all the news. But Ring of Honor is on Destination America now, the cable channel.
Oh, really?
That TNA is also on. It actually runs before TNA now.
Huh.
And the rumor is that Ring of Honor is going to get a little bit more budget for production. So it might look a lot better, which is great, because Ring of Honor, incredible in-ring talent right now.
Yeah.
If they get better production values, they're going to kind of take off here, because or either that or the WWE will hire everyone away.
That's kind of what I would expect, but I don't know.
They've been doing that. Samoa Joe signed a real contract,
Yeah.
so he's wrestling full time.
Who's next? Young Bucks.
Who's next?
Styles.
My prediction. All right, ACH and the Young Bucks were two of the biggest names outside of the WWE. Both did WWE tryouts and reportedly pissed everyone off.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they didn't play nice, I guess. Like, they didn't shake the right hands or say the right things. So everyone was, all the old men who do the things, were like, oh, they didn't show enough respect. So, I don't know. But, you know, the Young Bucks, you put them on TV, they're going to sell fucking tickets. Like, come on. You watch them wrestle, and they do shit in the ring that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
What else? I think the biggest name that they didn't have was Kevin Owens. And obviously that turned out. Right now, fuck. AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles.
That's the number one name that they could get. They'll never get him, though. Because the WWE has he has a little bad blood with the WWE. Because I think they turned him down back when he was younger.
What about the other guys in Bullet Club?
I think Redragon from Ring of Honor and New Japan, the Bobby Fish and fuck, I can't remember the other guy's name. The tag champs there are really incredible as wrestlers. Who else? I don't know. There is a lot of talent there. Oh shit, Adam Cole, who I think is still the champion of Ring of Honor, is incredible. I mean, if you want to know him, think like The Miz, but more handsome and a better wrestler.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I definitely think there were rumors surrounding about him getting signed. They got Uggh Nation, who's a black wrestler who's incredible. Like, watch his indie stuff, and he's just like one of those guys. You're like, wow, he's doing stuff in the ring I've never seen before. So, but they signed him, so they'll be starting soon. Yeah, they seem to be picking out all the best guys. So.
Cool.
All right. Well, we gotta end.
Yeah. What do you?
Anything else? No.
No, that's it.
Other than that, and the rumor that I'm reading right now is that the Dudley Boys may be returning to the WWE.
Really?
You remember them from the Royal Rumble? The Dudley Boys. Their tag team. Team 3D. You know, they have a couple good tag moves.
Supposedly they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. But supposedly both of them are available because fuck, what's his name? God name the white guy, the white Dudley brother. He actually just left his TNA contract.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, right before the Royal Rumble, actually. And there were rumors then, but there weren't. But now it seems like they want to bring them in for a program with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan to have put Eric Rowan and Luke Harper over.
Yeah,
I think that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
the Dudley Boys, the Dudley Boys, very physical matches, and Luke Harper and Eric Rowan can take some punishment and dish it out.
Yeah,
that could be some real cool stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Right. You know what I love about this, Adam?
What?
Elimination Chamber happened. My WWE happiness is really high right now.
Yeah,
they're doing some cool stuff, and I'm really happy. So I'm glad. That's it. We gotta end.
Yep.
It's been way more than a half hour.
Yes, it has.
It's been 7 hours.
Basically.
God damn it! I can't not talk, Adam.
I know.
It's my It's my gift and my curse. Oh, this is shorter than the last episode, though, so good. All right. Well, thanks for listening. You can catch us on bornintheeighties.net.
Yes.
All right. That's it.
All right.
Good night.
Night.
Good night and good luck. Was that Walter Cronkite?
And George Clooney.
Who?
And George Clooney.
Well, in the movie. Jesus. Adam, what is that the Diablo guy says?
Jesus, it's Diablo.
That's right. Watch out for him. He'll fuck your shit up. Faboulous. I am fabulous. Whose WWE theme is that?
Is that Naomi's? No.
Fuck no.
Fabulous.
Fabou. Oh wait, no. How's it go? I don't know how to spell fabulous. Fabulous.
Is it Carmella's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically an Iggy Azalea ripoff, sound off.
Yeah.
But it works. For her. Adam,
Yes.
how's it going? Sadam Ham,
It's going pretty good.
you ready?
As ready
hit
as
play.
I'll
I'm
be,
gonna hit
I
play
guess. Go.
on the thing so I can hear our voices.
Yeah. Do that.
Let me just hear it. Alright, we sound fine. Let me just close that shit so I don't slow down my pooter. My pooter! Sorry, Adam.
Yeah. You should be.
I'm drinking some bourbon I made.
Great.
Handcrafted. The Row House.
See.
It's like original bourbon, you know? In the row houses. Mm-hmm. It's where bourbon originated.
I doubt that.
Kentucky's row houses. Mm-hmm. Adam, ready to go? What do you want to talk about? What do you have to talk about? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
I think, having seen our list, I think we have sufficient things to talk about.
Yeah. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah. We're fabulous.
All right, ready then? I can just start it. Wait, let me do like two things
Start it.
because I know I'm gonna have to pee,
Okay.
and I know I probably should refill my drink.
Okay.
I'm gonna preempt that. I just wanted to get started so we wouldn't be hanging. Mm-hmm. I put the episode up
I saw that.
today.
I saw that.
I was busy all week, so
Yeah.
one
I
sec.
was
I'll be
later than usual.
what? A
It was
little,
a bit later.
like half week. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
Oh,
Feed me
don't-
more
Don't be right back.
drinks. All right, Ham. What's up?
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
There's a verb to feed that means to like give somebody food or to like
Yeah.
feed somebody. There's not one for like liquids like drinking.
Oh, you're right.
You can't like drink someone something.
Grammar corner with Ham.
Yeah, that's weird. Also, in Japanese,
Yeah.
the verb for like to take medicine, they don't say like to take medicine. It's to. They use the word for drink. It's like you drank your medicine.
Oh, okay.
First time I learned that, I thought it's probably because like all Japanese medicine was some horrible concoction.
Just some fucking
Like,
crush up the pills into like a paste and you feed it to you.
or some kind of weird, like, yak's liver and...
Were you high when you were thinking of these things?
No, not really.
Were you like 2? Like 10 maybe?
No.
Didn't know what Japan was?
No.
Alright, well, no excuses
Well,
for you then.
You know, Eastern medicine, you kind of...
Oh yeah, you know. Yeah, you mean Chinese medicine?
I mean Eastern.
I don't think Japan has much of that.
I think it does.
Not originally. Not when they were closed off. Anyway, let's
Japan
stop
and
talking
China
about
have always-
Japan's closed offness.
Their isolationism.
Isolationism, yeah. And let's talk about